The night always hides things that never appear in daylight. In this video, you will listen to 3 terrifying stories that may keep you awake tonight. Put on your headphones, turn off the lights, and let's begin. Our first story takes place in a city you might know, down a dark, narrow alley that most people hurry past without a second glance. Tucked away in this alley is an old boarding house, the kind with creaking floors and a history that lingers in the air like dust. It's said that this house has a secret, a chilling connection to a specific time. 3:33 in the morning. They say it's the moment when the boundary between our world and somewhere else is at its weakest. Liam, a university student, just trying to save some money on rent, had recently moved in. He'd heard the rumors, of course, but dismissed them as local folklore, stories told to spook newcomers. He was a rational person, grounded in logic and reason. But some things, he would soon learn, defy all logic. One particular night, the city was unusually quiet. The usual hum of traffic had faded, leaving an unnerving silence that seemed to amplify every tiny sound within the old house. Liam was awake, cramming for an exam, the glow of his laptop casting long, dancing shadows across the room. He glanced at the clock on his screen. It read 3:32 a.m. He stretched, feeling the exhaustion in his bones, and was about to close his books when it happened. The clock ticked over to 3:33 a.m. And then, a knock. It wasn't a frantic or urgent knock. It was slow, deliberate, and heavy. 3 distinct raps on his wooden door. Thump. 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 A chill, cold and sharp, crawled up Liam's spine. Who could possibly be knocking at this hour? He wasn't expecting anyone. The other tenants were quiet, solitary people who kept to themselves. He held his breath, listening. Silence. Maybe he'd imagined it. The house was old, after all. It settled and groaned, but the sound had been so clear, so intentional. He slowly got up from his chair, his heart starting to pound against his ribs. He crept towards the door, his hand hesitating over the old brass knob. He took a deep breath and pulled it open. Nothing. The hallway was empty, dimly lit by a single, flickering bulb at the far end. No one was there. Not a sound, not a shadow. A draft of cold air swirled around his feet, making him shiver. He felt a mix of relief and confusion. Maybe he was just overtired. He shook his head, chiding himself for letting the old stories get to him. He closed the door, making sure the lock clicked firmly into place, and turned back into his room. That's when he saw it. On the surface of the large, antique mirror hanging on the wall opposite his bed, something had appeared. In the dim light, condensation had formed, as if someone had just breathed upon the cold glass. And within that fog, letters were traced out, crude and shaky, as if drawn by a trembling finger. The message read, "I am standing right behind you." Panic seized him. His blood ran cold. Every rational thought evaporated, replaced by a primal, suffocating fear. He was frozen in place, his eyes locked on the horrifying words in the mirror. He could feel it. Now presence. The air behind him felt heavy, cold, and charged with an unseen energy. He could almost smell the scent of damp earth and decay. He didn't dare turn around. His mind screamed at him to run, to scream, to do anything, but his body was paralyzed. Who was it? What was it? The stories he'd dismissed now flooded his mind with terrifying clarity. He remembered a detail he had previously ignored. Never looked back. With a shaking hand, he fumbled for his phone on the desk. His fingers felt numb and clumsy. He finally managed to grab it, his thumb swiping frantically to unlock the screen. He couldn't bring himself to turn his head, not even an inch. His only hope was the small, digital eye of his phone. He opened the camera app and switched it to the front-facing view. He held the phone up, his own terrified face staring back at him from the screen. And then, slowly, he angled the phone upwards so the camera could see over his shoulder to what was reflected in the mirror, to what was standing in the space right behind him. For a split second, the screen showed his own pale, horrified expression. But then, the image shifted. Peering over his shoulder on the phone's screen was another face. It was impossibly pale, with skin like stretched parchment over a skull. Its eyes were dark, empty pits that seemed to absorb all the light in the room. And its lips were stretched into a wide, silent, terrifying smile. The face on the screen stared directly into the camera, directly at him. It knew he could see it. The smile widened. Did he turn around in time? Some say fear gives you the strength to flee. Others say it roots you to the spot until it's too late. The last thing the old house heard from Liam's room that night was not a scream, but the soft, metallic clatter of a phone dropping to the floor. And then, an unnerving silence that was deeper and more final than any that had come before. The boundary had been crossed. We hope you enjoyed that story. If you've ever had a strange late-night experience, share it in the comments below. We have more chilling tales coming your way, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to be left alone in the dark.